But we'll start by getting stuck into the football chat. 08717 22 3344. There's a few stories floating around ahead of obviously getting back into Premier League and Championship and League One and League Two action this weekend. And I've seen that Eddie Howe to Celtic, they're in advanced talks. That's what we're being led to believe here at talkSPORT. Eddie Howe to Celtic. First of all, you've got experience of being up there, being up in Glasgow, playing football up at Celtic.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe to Celtic, good move.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, for him, brilliant move. I think he's one of those guys that knows his football. Celtic fans they're no mugs. They know somebody that's really good at bringing their culture to the club, and I think Eddie Howe's got a great football knowledge. So because we saw what he done with Bournemouth, he created miracles over there, got them promoted into the Premier League, and so now the next step for him is probably somewhere like Celtic, so he can get his feet back, find his feet, and makes Celtic successful again. I think it's a really good fit.
You hear the chat of how big Celtic is as a club, right? And you will have had some understanding when you went there. What's it like when you actually get there? How big is it when you actually get there? How big is that club?
It's enormous. You got to understand. There's so many Celtic fans across the world. Yeah. Like I could go because I put on the hoops, that shirt. I go anywhere in the world and they'll remember me. And they'll say, "Oh, you played for Celtic," and if I'm in a pub, they'll buy me a beer. Do you know what I mean? So you got to understand how big Celtic is. And until I went there, that's when I understood that I'm at a big, massive club here.
I think from an outsider looking in, it seems the perfect time to go to Celtic. If you're a manager with anything about you, you've got any ambition or anything like that, to go to somewhere like Celtic now, after Rangers have just toppled them, they've stopped that run, haven't they?
Yeah.
So therefore, you're in a win-win situation. With all due respect to all the other clubs in Scotland, it's two clubs. It's Rangers Celtic, isn't it? That's what it is. Now Rangers are the kings of the castle this season. There's an opportunity for someone to go in there and really make a name for themselves. And Eddie Howe's been doing wonderful things in English football for a long period of time. Great things with Bournemouth, as you mentioned there, Carlton. But to go up there, to topple this new generation, Steven Gerrard's Rangers, to stop them getting any real momentum and traction, I tell you something, that would be a big, big coup and a real opportunity for him to go up there and make a name for himself. Yeah,
I'll see it. It's a bigger job than Bournemouth. I'm telling you that now. So you got to understand what he's got. He needs to understand what he's going into, and it's a massive opportunity for him. And I think with what he does, who he is as a person, and then what he stands for in football, he's a footballing guy, and I think, and he's young as well, so he'll relate to the fans will love him. Because he'll just bring in his culture to the club, and he'll buy into the Celtic culture too, which is going to be a match made in heaven.
I've got two questions, right? You've been there.
Yeah.
Will he get time? Because it feels like a rebuilding job, mate. He might not do it in one season. Will he get time to implement what he wants to do, to build it and to manifest it in order for it to become successful 2 years maybe down the line? Yeah,
as long as the fans understand that, because the fans are very powerful over there. And as long as they know that they have to rebuild and restructure, then because I think isn't Scott Brown? I think he's leaving at the end of the season as well. So there's a lot of restructuring to do, and I think what he's got to understand is that he's going to have to bring in some of his own players that he wants to bring in, and that's going to take time. And maybe 2 years, then they'll probably start getting back to what they were, but they can still do it within a year. They could do it next season. They still have the good players. They've got some of the best players obviously the best players in the league. And Rangers have done a brilliant and outstanding job under Steven Gerrard. But I think they're not far off. They just need a bit of galvanising Celtic and adding a few players into certain positions.
Is it a bigger job than a Premier League job?
Depends what job you're talking about. Like, what job in the Premier League are we talking about? I'd say, listen, Premier League, we know there's loads of money in it, but when you look at the history of Celtic and what it stands for, then you'll understand. Until I went up there, then I didn't get it. So when I went up there and I was in the building, then I got it. So this is a massive job. And look, I've got aspirations to be a manager in the future. And if I had the Celtic job, I would be over the moon. So you can never disrespect. Just because it's in Scotland, that doesn't mean nothing. It means that they're in Europe every season, They're challenging for the title every season. So it's still a big job, and the fans expect that. It's the fans' expectancy that means a lot. And if you get them on side, then you make history there.
Do you think he is the right man to get the fans on side? Do you think the fans will take to him?
Yeah, why not? He's a lovely guy. He's a good person, and he's all about his football. And he'll keep it football and strictly football. He won't be getting involved with all the politics. He wouldn't want to do that anyway. He just wants to go there and prove himself and get his name back on the map.